Black smoke will soon devour the sky, but for now the morning is quiet. You wake before the church bells begin their solemn counting of the hour. It is early September, 1666. The air inside your small timber-framed house is close and heavy, scented with wood smoke, damp wool, and yesterday's ale. A thin gray light presses through the oiled paper window panes, softening the hard lines of the low ceiling beams above your head. You lie still for a moment, listening. London breathes around you. Somewhere nearby, a cart wheel grinds over uneven cobblestone. A woman coughs behind a thin plaster wall. A rooster cries from a cramped yard. The River Thames, only streets away, carries the muffled slap of water against moored barges. The city is already awake, though the sun has barely risen above the eastern horizon. You sit up on your straw mattress, wrapped in a coarse linen shift. If you are a laborer or tradesman, your outer garments hang from a wooden peg. A wool doublet dyed a practical brown or faded green, hose knitted thick and rough, a leather belt polished by use. If you are of better means, perhaps a merchant or clerk, your doublet is finer broadcloth, possibly edged with modest braid. Your collar is clean white linen, starched lightly. But even among London's prosperous, silk and velvet are reserved for the elite. The lawyers of the Inns of Court, the aldermen, the wealthy merchants whose ships cross to the Americas. You dress by habit, layering linen against skin, wool against the September chill. The summer has been unusually dry. For months, little rain has fallen. The wooden houses, packed tightly along the lanes, have baked beneath a relentless sun. Roof shingles are brittle. Timber beams creak with dryness. You do not think of this as danger. It is simply how London has felt all season. Parched, dusty, thirsty. You descend the narrow staircase, ducking beneath a low beam polished by generations of hands. The hearth is cold now, ash settled in the grate. You stir it lightly, careful not to wake the rest of the household too soon. If you share the home with family or apprentices, they sleep on pallets in the upper loft. Privacy is rare. Sound travels easily. Life is shared closely. Outside, the lane is scarcely wider than a wagon. Houses lean inward as if conspiring overhead, upper stories jutting out beyond their lower foundations. Timber frames are filled with whitewashed plaster, already smudged by soot. Wooden signs swing above doorways, painted boots for cobblers, gilded keys for locksmiths, a sheaf of wheat for a baker. The city is a forest of wood and commerce. You step into the street and are greeted by the layered scent of London. Fish from Billingsgate, dung from horses, smoke from hundreds of small hearths, and the tang of the river carried on a faint breeze from the east. The sky is pale blue, streaked with thin cloud, promises another warm day. Church bells begin their measured ringing, marking the hour across the parish towers. St. Paul's Cathedral rises in the distance, its medieval spire long gone, replaced by a squat tower awaiting future renovation. Around it cluster booksellers, printers, and stationers. You can almost hear the rustle of pamphlets debating politics, religion, and the memory of the plague that ravaged the city only the year before. The plague is still fresh in your mind. In 1665, death carts rolled through these very streets. Red crosses were painted on doors. "Lord, have mercy upon us," they wrote beneath them. Now the crosses have faded, and London is alive again. Shops are open, markets bustle, but beneath the noise lingers the memory of silence. You make your way toward your work. Perhaps you are an apprentice in a bakery on Pudding Lane, near the river. The bakery belongs to the King's baker, Thomas Fariner. The ovens are large brick constructions, heated through the night by coal and wood. The heat clings to the walls even before sunrise. Bread is essential in London. Every household depends on it. Regulations govern its price and weight. Inspectors ensure fairness. Hunger breeds unrest. Inside the bakery, flour dust hangs in the air like mist. The ovens glow faintly from embers banked overnight. Apprentices knead dough in troughs worn smooth by years of labor. Their shirts cling with sweat, sleeves rolled to the elbow. Faces are pale with flour. The baker's wife moves briskly between tasks, skirts hitched slightly to avoid stray sparks. You hear the crackle of wood as fresh fuel is pushed deeper into the oven's mouth. The iron peel slides loaves onto hot stone. The smell of baking bread fills the narrow street outside, mingling with tar, hemp rope, and river salt. Beyond Pudding Lane, London's port is stirring. Ships from Holland, Spain, and the American colonies crowd the wharves. Cranes creak as cargo is unloaded. Barrels of wine, bales of tobacco, crates of sugar. Dockworkers shout in rough accents. Their clothing is practical and worn. Canvas trousers, coarse wool coats, caps pulled low. Sailors carry knives at their belts, not as weapons of menace but as tools of survival. Further west, near Cheapside, the wealth of the city is more visible. Goldsmiths display wares in windows. Silk merchants drape vibrant fabrics imported from Italy and the Levant. Deep crimson, royal blue, luminous saffron. Ladies of status pass by in gowns of layered silk and brocade, bodices stiffened, skirts supported by farthingales or padded rolls. Their hair is dressed carefully, sometimes adorned with pearls. Gentlemen wear periwigs, an increasingly fashionable sign of refinement, paired with tailored coats and lace cuffs. A walking cane signals status more than necessity. You, however, move among the common rhythm of the city. You greet neighbors with a nod. Titles matter. Master for a respected tradesman. Good wife for a married woman. Social rank is clear and rarely crossed. Servants walk a pace behind their employers. Apprentices show deference. Even speech carries hierarchy. As the sun climbs higher, the warmth intensifies. The dry wood of the houses radiates stored heat. The narrow lanes trap it. There is little wind. Laundry flutters lazily overhead, strung between windows. A boy chases a stray dog past a stack of firewood piled against a wall. The wood has been there all summer, curing in the sun. By midday, the markets are loud. Vendors call out prices. A fiddler plays a lively tune near the cross. The melody dances above the murmur of trade, joined occasionally by a drum or pipe. Music is not a grand orchestra but a collection of street sounds, simple instruments carrying familiar folk airs. If one could imagine a background score to this day, it would be the gentle pluck of a lute, the steady heartbeat of a hand drum, and the faint swell of viols in a noble household far away. You pause near the river. The Thames is low with the tide, exposing mudbanks that glisten in the sun. Children dart across them, daring one another closer to the water's edge. Bargemen curse good-naturedly as they maneuver heavy loads. The city feels alive, resilient, almost proud. But there is a stillness beneath the movement. The wind, which might carry away smoke or cool the air, is barely present. Chimneys across the city release thin threads of gray that drift upward and linger. Coal fires burn in kitchens and workshops. Ovens blaze. Smithies roar. Every household depends on flame. As afternoon deepens, you return to your duties. The bakery is stifling now. Sweat runs down your back. The oven doors are opened and closed, embers stirred, sparks occasionally snapping onto the brick floor. You stamp them out without concern. It is routine. Across the city, similar scenes unfold. In candle makers' shops, tallow melts over steady heat. In brewers' yards, fires warm vats of mash. In homes, hearths cook the evening meal. Fire is servant, provider, companion. Toward evening, the sky turns amber. Sunlight catches the upper stories of houses, painting them gold. Shadows stretch long across the cobbles. The bells ring again, softer now. Families gather indoors. Doors close. Wooden shutters are drawn. A faint breeze begins to stir from the east, subtle but persistent. You step outside briefly, breathing the warm air. Somewhere nearby, a neighbor banks their hearth for the night, covering embers in ash to preserve them until morning. In the bakery, the ovens are tended carefully. Fires are meant to be contained, watched, respected. Yet the city is tired. It has survived plague, political turmoil, and economic strain. People trust in routine, in habit, in the thick brick of oven walls and the stone lining of hearths. Night settles over London slowly. The streets grow quieter, though never silent. A watchman patrols with lantern in hand, calling the hour and the weather into the darkness. 10 of the clock and all's well. His voice echoes between the timber frames. You lie down once more on your straw mattress. The heat of the day lingers in the beams above you. The faint scent of smoke drifts in through the window. Nothing unusual. It is London. Smoke is constant, comforting even. In Pudding Lane, the ovens glow softly in the darkness. Embers shift. Wood crackles. A spark escapes where it should not. It lands on dry kindling stored too near. At first, it is nothing more than a whisper of flame. You sleep. Outside, the wind freshens slightly, tugging at shutters, teasing at that small, unnoticed spark. The timber of London, dry from months without rain, waits silently. Before dawn, a faint orange flicker touches the inside of a bakery wall, and the city, unaware and unguarded, breathes in once more, just hours before everything changes.